Imagine this situation: you participate in a bank auction, you become the highest bidder, you pay the money, you even receive a sales certificate, and then suddenly the court says you are not the owner, or the bank should never have completed the sale, and possession cannot be given. How can that happen? The Bombay High Court answered these exact questions in a landmark judgment of 2025 in Arrow Business Development Consulting Private Limited versus Union Bank of India. This single case has fundamentally changed how we must understand Section 13, subsection 8 of SARFAESI and Section 96 of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining me. This presentation is brought to you by Synergy Business Advisory Group Noida, a multi-disciplinary professional services firm delivering end-to-end advisory solutions. Today's case is critically important because it answers three fundamental questions. First, when does ownership actually pass in SARFAESI auction? What is the real impact of 2016 amendment to Section 13, subsection 8? How powerful is interim moratorium under Section 96 of the IBC? Union Bank of India had granted facilities to borrowers against a residential flat. Upon default, the account was classified as NPA. The bank initiated action under the SARFAESI Act, issued a demand notice under Section 13, subsection 2, took possession, approached the magistrate under Section 14, and finally issued an auction notice dated 9th of May 2025. On 30th May 2025, Arrow Business Development Consultants Private Limited emerged as the highest bidder and was declared the successful auction purchaser. From the bank's perspective, everything appeared compliant. The process was followed and the sale was moving forward. But before the sale could legally conclude, a decisive event occurred. On 9th of June 2025, the borrower filed a personal insolvency application under Section 94 of the IBC. This one filing changed everything. Under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, the moment a Section 94 application is filed, Section 96 automatically triggers an interim moratorium. No court order is required for triggering the interim moratorium. It operates from that moment, all recovery actions must stop. Despite this statutory bar, the bank continued with the auction process. It accepted further payments after 9th June and on 20th June 25 issued a sales certificate, although possession was not handed over. When possession was denied, the auction purchaser approached the Bombay High Court arguing that ownership had already passed on to him. The court was now faced with a direct conflict: SARFAESI enforcement powers versus IBC's insolvency protection. Justice Farhan P. Dabash examined four critical questions. Does ownership pass merely on issuance of an auction notice? What is the true effect of Section 13, subsection 8 after the 2016 amendment? Does Section 96 freeze SARFAESI proceedings? What was the sale? Was this sale ever legally completed? Key findings of the court. First, the court clarified a widespread misunderstanding. The 2016 amendment to section 13 subsection 8 only extinguishes the borrower's right of redemption after the auction notice. It does not transfer ownership. Ownership is a bundle of rights, title, possession, enjoyment, and control. Losing redemption does not mean losing ownership. Second, the court explained when ownership actually transfers under SARFAESI, the ownership passes only when the full sale consideration is paid, the sale is lawfully confirmed, and a valid sale certificate is issued without any legal bar. Until then, the borrower remains the legal owner and the auction purchaser has only an incomplete right. Third, and most crucially, the court analyzed section 96 of the IBC, relying on the Supreme Court's judgment in Dilip Jivarajaka, Union of India. The court held that the interim moratorium is extremely wide. It applies to all debts and all recovery actions. Once a section 94 application is filed, SARFAESI enforcement must stop. No payment can be accepted, no sale can be completed, no third party right can be created. Most payments were received after 9th of June and the sale certificate was issued after the moratorium had already commenced. Therefore, the bank had no legal authority to proceed. The process stood frozen by law. The sale never legally concluded. Final verdict. The court held that the borrower's ownership had not ended. The interim moratorium under section 96 blocked SARFAESI action. The bank acted without authority. The auction purchaser never became the legal owner. The possession could not be granted. The petition was dismissed. An action may end redemption, but only a lawful sale ends ownership. And no SARFAESI action can override an IBC moratorium. This judgment is not merely procedural, it is transformative. It firmly reinforces the supremacy of insolvency law in India. This is CA and insolvency professional Praveen Agrawal. Thanking you for watching. I hope this episode is helping you